complicada como pocas y una de las películas que me ayudó a conocer a Adam McKay. Estoy hablando de The Big Short, película del 2015 que tiene un elenco envidiable. Estamos hablando de Steve Carell, de Ryan Gosling, de Brad Pitt, de un jovencísimo Jeremy Strong mucho antes de que Adam McKay precisamente lo llevara a Succession. En este caso hablé con Gary Ackroyd, el director de fotografía de esta película, sobre lo compleja que es y también sobre cómo vio trabajar a Christian Bale, cómo lo vio convertirse en este cerebrito que de alguna forma vio la falla en la industria inmobiliaria y provocó esa burbuja del 2008 que casi manda el mundo al tacho. Todo en este informe sobre The Big Short.
We now return to Mira Akian and Contré with our latest interview.
Adam McKay called me. I knew that he made comedies, and I thought that's interesting. Kind of quite bawdy American comedies, but the script was fantastic. And I remember we had a very good conversation just on the telephone. And I was just struck by how smart he was and how smart the script was.
The housing market is rock solid.
It's a time bomb.
The thing that he liked about my work was, and the particular film that he mentioned, was United 93, which is a disaster film. So, of what happened on 9/11 in America. That all appealed to me. That he liked what he thought was like the cleanliness of the American way, but showing a kind of destruction as well. And I suppose The Big Short is very much that, the destruction of the American dream.
You know what? I'm pissed off. American people are getting screwed by the big banks. And I am getting madder and madder.
It's unbelievable.
There was a lot of story to tell. Obviously, he had a lot of stories, a lot of different characters all coming in. So, what I think added to the style was, instead of it being it is very cutty, but instead of cutting between dialogue and one character and the next character and back to the next character, we managed to capture scenes. We followed the story, we followed the dialogue, not necessarily word for word, but we were like, you're looking at the reaction and then you're catching the important part of the sentence of the story, and vice versa. You're sometimes on the story and then you go to the reaction to finish the line, and that gives it a kind of dynamic that you're living in the real time. You're living in that space and time, and that would be and that made for a kind of really dynamic film, which it could have been something very pedantic and just a lot of information, because there's a lot of information in the film, but you kind of pick it up, you pick it up by osmosis rather than by being told what it is, and I think that's what makes the film appealing as well. Yeah.
So Mike Burry, who gets his hair cut at Supercuts and doesn't wear shoes, knows more than Alan Greenspan.
Dr. Mike Burry, yes, he does.
He's a great actor. He's a great actor. And you as a cinematographer, you don't really get to witness the preparation, but it's obvious that there was a lot of preparation there. He learned a lot from the real character, who was slightly Asperger's, I guess. He's someone who was able to count and work through all those figures and all that thing and come out with a conclusion. Quite what we sometimes call a genius, because that's why they do that thing. And he managed to capture that. He sprained his knee playing with his kid at the weekend before we started shooting. Very badly strained, like a meniscus thing, and his character wore shorts, so he when he was on set, he wore a brace to keep his knee in place, but he acted without that brace, and it was it gave him a little kind of, I don't know, like you could feel the pain in his psyche. I thought it was great, and and I think he just prepared himself very well.
Is there anything you want me to work on for start?
Oh yeah, the glass eye piece. Yeah. I mean, he did that with this. He kind of, rubbing it and wiping away tears and things like that. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that part of the story, but yeah, he I think that's him knowing the character and putting that into the character just to remind us every now and again that there was a problem, with the guy saw things in a different way, I guess. I love the thing that he did with the tennis ball. He would just bounce that tennis ball around and pace around the room and things like that. I thought those were really good insights onto a character. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
And we can profit off of their stupidity.
You want to bet against the banks?
I think we're either high or having a stroke. Kind of brilliant.
I had trouble understanding what the film was ultimately about. It was very hard to follow all the intricacies. It's tended to be difficult. I mean, that's what financial services do, is they write this jargon and make it really difficult for you to follow,
Wall Street loves to use confusing terms to make you think only they can do what they do. Or even better, for you just to leave them the fuck alone.
The great thing about the film and what Adam McKay did was to bring all that, to trust the audience that they would understand. Yeah. Even if you did every piece of it, you understand there was some activities going on that were just, immoral and illegal probably. And yeah, they all managed to bring that to the story whilst, being humorous and insightful. I don't know. It's a great one. It's one of my favorite films I've ever made because of that level of intensity that he brings to the film.
Now we can kick him in the teeth.
Okay, here we go.